The year was 1939, a time when the world was teetering on the edge of a global conflict that would soon engulf nations and change the course of history forever. The world was on the brink of war. The tension was palpable, and the future seemed uncertain. People everywhere were looking for a distraction, a way to escape the grim reality that loomed over them. But in the bustling city of New York, a new kind of excitement was brewing. Amidst the chaos and uncertainty, there was a spark of creativity and innovation that would soon ignite a revolution in entertainment. Out of a small office, a company called Timely Comics was born. It was a modest beginning, with a handful of passionate individuals who believed in the power of storytelling. Little did anyone know, this unassuming beginning would change the face of entertainment forever. The seeds of a cultural phenomenon were being planted, and the world of comics would never be the same.
Timely Comics was hungry for success. They were driven by a desire to create something new, something that would capture the hearts and minds of readers everywhere. They yearned for stories that would capture the imagination. Stories that were bold, daring, and unlike anything that had been seen before. And they found it in the pulpy pages of comic books. These colorful, action-packed stories were the perfect medium for their creative ambitions.
The first issue of Marvel Comics, as it was then known, hit newsstands in October 1939. It was a momentous occasion, marking the birth of a new era in storytelling. It was a kaleidoscope of thrilling tales. Each page was filled with vibrant characters and exhilarating adventures that transported readers to fantastical worlds. Heroes and monsters leaped from the pages, captivating readers with their daring adventures. These stories were more than just entertainment, they were a source of inspiration and hope.
The Human Torch, a blazing android, was one of the first characters to capture the public's imagination. His fiery powers and heroic deeds made him an instant favorite. And then there was the Submariner, a brooding anti-hero from the depths. His complex character and underwater adventures added a new dimension to the comic book world. These early characters, though rough around the edges, laid the groundwork for a universe of heroes yet to come. They were the pioneers of a new genre, setting the stage for the iconic characters that would follow.
Timely Comics tapped into a public yearning for escapism. In a world filled with uncertainty and fear, these stories offered a much-needed respite. The world was a dark and uncertain place. The Great Depression had left its mark, and the looming threat of war cast a long shadow over everyday life. But within the pages of these comic books, readers found hope. They found heroes who, though flawed and human, always fought for what was right. These characters embodied the ideals and values that people aspired to. They found heroes who, though flawed and human, always fought for what was right. These characters embodied the ideals and values that people aspired to. They were a beacon of light in a dark time, showing that even in the face of adversity, good could prevail. This resonated deeply with audiences, and Timely Comics found its footing. The company quickly grew, attracting talented writers and artists who shared their vision. A new era of storytelling had begun. The impact of Timely Comics would be felt for generations to come, as they paved the way for the superheroes and stories that continue to captivate audiences today. As the 1940s dawned, the world was engulfed in war. The global conflict touched every aspect of life, from the battlefields of Europe and the Pacific to the home fronts of nations around the world. In the United States, the war effort was all-encompassing, influencing industries, culture, and even entertainment. Timely Comics, like the rest of America, answered the call. They saw an opportunity to contribute to the war effort by boosting morale and providing a sense of hope and heroism through their stories. Comic books became a powerful medium, reaching soldiers on the front lines and citizens at home, offering a brief escape from the harsh realities of war. Their stories became imbued with a patriotic fervor. Superheroes were depicted fighting against the Axis powers, standing up for justice, and embodying the American spirit. These tales were not just entertainment. They were a form of propaganda, rallying the public and reinforcing the values of freedom and democracy. And from this crucible of conflict emerged a true icon, Captain America. He was more than just a character. He was a symbol of hope and resilience. With his indestructible shield and unwavering resolve, Captain America became the embodiment of the fight against tyranny and oppression.
Created by Joe Simon and myself, Captain America was the embodiment of American ideals. We wanted to create a hero who could inspire people, someone who represented the best of what America stood for. Captain America was our answer to the dark times, a beacon of light in a world overshadowed by war. He was a symbol of freedom, justice, and unwavering courage in the face of tyranny. His stories were filled with thrilling adventures, but they also carried a deeper message about the importance of standing up for what is right, no matter the odds.
Captain America's adventures resonated deeply with wartime audiences. People found solace and inspiration in his tales, children idolized him, and soldiers saw him as a reflection of their own struggles and aspirations. The character's popularity soared, making him a household name. Here was a hero who stood up to bullies, who fought for the oppressed, who embodied the very spirit of America. Captain America's battles against the Nazis and other villains were not just fictional stories, they were symbolic of the real fight happening across the world. His stories were filled with action, adventure, and a healthy dose of propaganda. They were designed to entertain, but also to educate and inspire. The comics reinforced the values of bravery, sacrifice, and patriotism, making them an integral part of the cultural fabric of the time. Captain America became a symbol of hope during a time of great uncertainty. His unwavering determination and heroic deeds provided a sense of stability and optimism, reminding people that good could triumph over evil.
Alongside Captain America, a pantheon of heroes emerged. The Golden Age of comics was a time of creativity and innovation, with new characters and stories captivating readers. These heroes, each with their unique abilities and backgrounds, added to the rich tapestry of the comic book world. The Human Torch and the Submariner continued their adventures. These characters, with their own distinct personalities and storylines, complemented Captain America's tales, creating a diverse and engaging universe for readers to explore. New heroes like the Wizard, Miss America, and the Vision, not the android we know today, joined the fray. Each new character brought something different to the table, expanding the scope and appeal of comic books. They represented various aspects of heroism and added depth to the stories being told.
This period, known as the Golden Age of comics, saw superhero comics rise to unprecedented popularity. The demand for these stories was immense, and comic books became a staple of American culture. They were not just for children. People of all ages found joy and inspiration in the adventures of their favorite heroes. Timely Comics, riding this wave of success, cemented its place as a major player in the industry. The creativity and dedication of the artists and writers during this era laid the foundation for the future of comic books. Their work not only entertained but also left a lasting legacy that continues to influence the world of comics today. The Golden Age faded, and the world moved on. Superhero comics waned in popularity. Timely Comics, now known as Atlas Comics, shifted its focus. But the seeds of a revolution were being sown. In the late 1950s, a new era was about to dawn.
This was the Silver Age of comics, and at its forefront stood Jack Kirby and myself. As a writer with a flair for the dramatic, and Jack, an artist with a boundless imagination, we were about to unleash a new breed of heroes.
These heroes were different. They weren't perfect paragons of virtue. They were flawed, relatable, and deeply human. They had problems, insecurities, and anxieties just like everyone else.
In 1961, the world met Spider-Man. Created by Jack and me, Spider-Man was a revelation. He was a teenage outcast, given extraordinary abilities through a radioactive spider bite. But with great power came great responsibility, a lesson Peter Parker learned the hard way.
Spider-Man's stories resonated with readers, young and old, who saw themselves in the web-slinger's struggles. The success of Spider-Man ushered in a new era for Atlas Comics, now reborn as Marvel Comics. This transformation marked the beginning of a revolution in the comic book industry, setting the stage for a new wave of storytelling that would captivate audiences for generations. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, fueled by creative fire, were the masterminds behind this renaissance. Their partnership was a perfect blend of Lee's narrative genius and Kirby's dynamic artistry. Together, they unleashed a wave of iconic characters that would become household names. These characters were not just heroes, they were complex individuals with personal struggles and relatable flaws.
The Fantastic Four, a family of adventurers gifted with bizarre powers, were among the first to break the mold of traditional superhero teams. Unlike other teams, they were a family first and foremost, with all the dynamics and conflicts that come with it. Their stories were not just about fighting villains, but also about navigating their relationships and personal challenges. This added a layer of depth and realism that was unprecedented in superhero comics. The Hulk, a tragic monster wrestling with his inner demons, explored themes of anger and acceptance. His dual identity as Bruce Banner and the Hulk symbolized the struggle between our civilized selves and our primal instincts. This character resonated with readers who saw their own struggles reflected in his story. The Hulk's journey was not just about smashing things, but about finding peace within oneself.
Iron Man, a billionaire playboy who built a suit of armor to save his life, became a commentary on technology and responsibility. Tony Stark's transformation from a self-centered industrialist to a hero who uses his intellect for the greater good was a powerful narrative. His story highlighted the potential and pitfalls of technological advancement, making readers ponder the ethical implications of their own innovations. Thor, the god of thunder, brought Norse mythology to life with Shakespearean grandeur. His tales were epic sagas that combined ancient myths with modern sensibilities, creating a unique blend of fantasy and reality.
These heroes, along with Daredevil, the blind lawyer who fought for justice, added a new dimension to the superhero genre. Daredevil's blindness was not a limitation but a strength, showcasing the power of determination and resilience. And the X-Men, a team of ostracized mutants struggling for acceptance, tackled issues of prejudice and discrimination. Their stories were allegories for real-world social issues, making them relevant and thought-provoking. These characters formed the bedrock of the Marvel Universe, a universe that was rich with diversity and complexity. Each hero brought something unique to the table, creating a tapestry of stories that appealed to a wide range of readers.
Marvel's heroes were different. They were not infallible gods but flawed, relatable individuals. Their imperfections made them more compelling and human. They were characters you could see yourself in, characters who faced real-world problems and dealt with them in ways that were both extraordinary and familiar. They lived in a world that felt real, a world with consequences and complexities. This grounded approach to superhero storytelling resonated with readers, making the Marvel Universe a place where they could lose themselves and find reflections of their own lives. This connection between the characters and the readers was the secret to Marvel's success. It was not just about the superpowers and the battles, but about the human stories at the heart of it all. Marvel Comics became a cultural phenomenon, captivating readers with its relatable characters and thought-provoking stories. It was a universe where anyone could be a hero, and everyone had a story worth telling.